When the lights of New York City shine brightest, no one suspects a new storm brewing. What if the man poised to lead this metropolis represents a seismic shift, not just in policy, but in ideology? What if his journey from Kampala to Queens brings with it convictions that could redefine the relationship between City Hall and some of its most vibrant communities? Zohran Kwame Mamdani has emerged as a polarizing figure whose radical affiliations, inflammatory rhetoric, and troubling track record pose a significant danger to the safety and unity of the city's diverse communities. He has built a campaign closely linked to radical groups that openly glorify violence, fuel anti-Semitic rhetoric, and deny Israel's right to exist. In the wake of the October 7, 2023 Hamas massacre, his refusal to clearly condemn terrorism and his continued alignment with extremist voices raised grave concerns about his moral judgment and his fitness to lead a city as diverse and vulnerable as New York. Who is Zohran Mamdani? Zohran Mamdani was born on October 18, 1991 in Kampala, Uganda, to Columbia professor Mahmood Mamdani, a Gujarati Shia Muslim, and Punjabi Hindu filmmaker Meera Nair. He spent his early years in South Africa and moved to New York at the age of 7. He was educated at Bronx Science and Bowdoin College, where he helped found a Students for Justice in Palestine chapter. A former rapper, he was elected to the New York State Assembly in 2020 as a Democratic Socialist. If elected as a mayor of New York City, he says he will bring in legislation to freeze rents in the city, introduce free buses, bring in city-run grocery stores, universal childcare, and tax only the wealthy. His election promises are merely pie-in-the-sky proposals, and his political leanings aren't reassuring either. His pro-Palestine leanings are a cause for concern for the 1 million Jews who live in the city. More Jews live in New York City than in Jerusalem and Haifa. A strong supporter of Palestine, Mamdani has backed BDS and labeled Israeli actions as genocide. The BDS movement, short for Boycott, Divest, Sanctions, was launched in 2005 by a coalition of Palestinian civil society organizations. It calls for boycotts, divestments, and sanctions as a form of non-violent pressure on Israel for the so-called liberation of Palestinians. One of his legislative actions was to introduce a bill to strip non-profits of tax-exempt status if they fund Israeli settlements. As a student at Bowdoin College, he co-founded a chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine, a group notorious for its pro-Hamas stance and for fostering hostile environments for Jewish students on campuses. Mamdani's early leadership in SJP reflects his alignment with its anti-Zionist agenda, which often crosses into anti-Semitism by denying Israel's right to exist. The day after Hamas unleashed one of the bloodiest terrorist attacks in modern history, on October 7, massacring civilians, raping women, and kidnapping over 250 hostages, Zohran Mamdani didn't condemn the slaughter. Instead, he used the moment to call for the dismantling of Israel, turning his back on Jewish grief and global outrage. While Jewish communities worldwide mourned, Mamdani's words gave fuel to anti-Semitic extremists and emboldened pro-Hamas radicals across the country. This wasn't a one-off misstep. It's a window into a deeply rooted ideology. His father, Mahmood Mamdani, a Columbia University professor, has compared Israel to Nazi Germany and publicly called for its dissolution. Well, the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. Zohran's radical worldview is not accidental. It is inherited, nurtured, and now weaponized on the political stage. Mamdani's hostility doesn't stop at Israel. He has outrageously blamed the Jewish state for police brutality in America. He refused to support a 2025 New York Assembly resolution condemning the Holocaust, one of the clearest moral lines in modern history. And when the Assembly sought to honor Israel's founding, Mamdani rejected it, choosing ideology over truth, grievance over healing. This isn't principled dissent. It's a pattern of dangerous inflammatory rhetoric that undermines Jewish safety, distorts historical fact, and invites division into the heart of the city he seeks to lead. Many Jewish leaders have already criticized him as anti-Zionist or anti-Semitic. So what must the New York City voters do now? Number one, they must stay informed. Voters must read beyond headlines. They must dig into his record, legislation, protests, and public statements. They must attend mayoral forums and ask direct questions on security, interfaith relations, and foreign policy. Number two, they must engage organically. Neighbors, community leaders, faith groups must start dialogue to ease anxieties and build bridges. Number three, they must demand clarity. Voters must seek specific positions. For instance, how will he handle anti-Semitism and city exchange programs with Israel? And what about local security protocols? He has already gone on record saying that as mayor, he will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if the latter were to visit New York. Number four, monitor November ballot. Voters must stay active and vote in the general election. They must consider cross-party candidates if concerns persist. New York City stands at a crossroads. A son of immigrants and global citizen, driven by convictions that challenge old alliances. Whether that ushers in bold new progress or unravels trusted bonds depends now on the voters of New York City. Will they act with knowledge and not fear, with unity and not division? Let's wait and watch.